Hello, very good day to you. Christmas is now just a week away, but in weather forecasting terms, that means it's still a wee way off. As a result, there is some uncertainty about the forecast for the big day. However, I will take a little look at what we can expect in the run-up to it and whether or not it is likely to be a white Christmas or not. However, let's start off with the forecast for this week. At the moment, here's the picture through the end of the day on Monday and overnight into Tuesday. It's a relatively mild one for many parts of the UK, but there is some cold air waiting out towards the northwest. That is then going to start to feed its way southwards as we go overnight into Tuesday. And then notice this weather system here. That means we are going to get off to a pretty wet start across many central southern parts on Tuesday morning. The rain could be a little bit heavy, but it is going to be quite persistent. Some spray on the roads quite likely before it all then clears away as we go through the end of the afternoon into the evening. Some drier, clearer weather for a time across central southern parts perhaps, but further north plenty of showers, particularly across parts of Scotland, Northern Ireland, but also later on in the afternoon across parts of Northern England and North Wales too. Some of these showers could be quite sharp. I am expecting some wintriness too, so some sleet or snow over higher ground of Scotland, some hail mixed in as well. We will also have some brisk winds coming in from the west-northwest, so that will add to the chilly feel. I showed you earlier there is some mild air around parts of the UK at the moment, but that is all clearing away, and so whilst many places will get off to a mild start, particularly in the south, by the time that we get to the middle of the afternoon it is going to be quite a bit chillier, with most places in single figures, and with those brisk winds it's going to feel even chillier than that too. Later on Tuesday then, as we go overnight into Wednesday, this front does start to clear its way out towards the southeast, and that allows for the cold air to become more widespread. Still some brisk winds around as well. As a result, because of the cold air, it is going to be quite a chilly night, Tuesday night into Wednesday. Some of us will see a bit of patchy frost around, but those brisk winds stopping the frost from being particularly widespread. And then we have this weather system then starting to make its way in. As a result, some bright skies perhaps first thing on Wednesday morning towards eastern areas, but quickly turning cloudy, a largely cloudy picture across many parts of the UK, and there will be some further rain around. The rain doesn't look particularly heavy, but it is going to be quite persistent, particularly across western parts of Scotland into Northern Ireland and over western hills of England and Wales. Here it is going to be quite a damp day. A little bit drier towards the south and east perhaps, but like I say, turning increasingly cloudy. Temperatures may be a little bit higher than in the afternoon on Tuesday, so many places in double figures, but with still some brisk winds, quite a bit of cloud and that rain around. It's not going to feel particularly pleasant. Those winds will then strengthen further as we go through the end of the day, Wednesday into Thursday. That's because we have two features affecting the UK overnight into Thursday. We have a very deep area of low pressure affecting Scandinavia. In fact, it could be one of the deepest Scandinavian lows on record for December. And at the same time, we have an anomalously high area of high pressure out in the Atlantic. Those two features mean we have very tightly packed isobars across the UK. And so it's no surprise we are going to have some very windy weather as we go through later Wednesday and more so through Thursday itself. It does look like Thursday it is going to be a particularly windy day, especially across northern parts of the UK. We also have a fair bit of rain around, driest towards the southeast to start, though that rain is going to gradually make its way here as we go through the morning and into the afternoon. So a cloudy, damp picture across many southern parts, and then plenty of showers across northern parts following in behind that rain. Some breaks possible in between those showers, but those showers are going to be heavy at times. Again, some wintriness, some sleet or snow is possible, and also some hail at times too. Temperatures may be a touch higher than on Wednesday, so highs of around 12 or 13 Celsius, but with those strong winds, it is going to feel colder than that. Let's take a look at those winds then, and as I mentioned before, it's across northern parts that we're going to see the strongest winds. This chart shows us our forecast gusts, and you can see across northern areas 50 to 60 miles per hour, quite likely, even perhaps 70 to 80 in some exposed spots. We're talking exposed coasts over the higher ground and also to the lee of higher ground. By that I mean, well, we have a west-northwesterly wind, so it's to the east of higher ground that we're also going to see some strong gusty winds, perhaps 60 to 70 miles per hour, affecting parts to the east of high ground, such as the Pennines, so around York, Sheffield. Here we could have some pretty strong winds as we go through Thursday. As a result, it's no surprise that we do have a warning out currently. It affects many parts of the UK. At the time of recording, it is valid for pretty much the whole of Thursday, and like I said, talks of gusts of 50 to 60, perhaps 70 to 80 miles per hour in some exposed coastal areas. At this time of year, many people will be taking to the roads, a lot more travel happening, and so that could cause some problems. However, it is worth bearing in mind that there is a little bit of uncertainty with the forecast for Thursday. I've just shown you the Met Office global model. Worth bearing in mind that the European Centre for Medium Range Weather Forecasting, ECMWF, their model's a little bit slower with the development, so everything comes a little bit later, and it is a bit deeper with that low pressure too, albeit a little bit further north, and so slight differences in exactly where we're going to see the strongest winds, but it does look like it will be across northern parts in particular, where it is going to be very windy on Thursday. Into Friday, and we still have those tightly packed isobars, so whilst the winds will be starting to ease, it is still going to be very windy, particularly towards southern parts. I'm expecting some strong winds as we go through Friday. However, we then have another system out towards the northwest, and that's going to bring increasing amounts of rain, perhaps some wintriness at times as this rain pushes its way eastwards across parts of Scotland. Outbreaks of rain then following in behind. Quite a cloudy picture further south, but I'm not expecting as much rain to reach here, albeit a few spots of rain are quite likely. Temperatures are nudged down perhaps compared to Thursday. We're starting to see something a little bit colder pushing its way in as we go towards the end of the week. But now let's look towards the weekend before Christmas, and we have a waving frontal system running its way across the UK, and this is gradually going to make its way southwards. This is important because it forms the boundary between something milder towards the south and colder air towards the north. There is, like I said, some uncertainty as to the timing of this system. Models have around 24-hour difference in terms of the progress of this frontal system, and so there is some uncertainty as to how quickly this is going to clear its way southwards, but it does look like we are going to see rain pushing its way southwards as we go through Saturday. That will allow for something colder and quieter as we go into Sunday. But then what does that mean for Christmas Day itself? Well, I think we can expect some wintry showers in the north, so some sleet, some snow showers, and also some brisk winds here. There will be some drier weather around, or there is likely to be some drier weather around for a time. Many of us, in fact, could wake up to a bit of a frost on Christmas morning. But then some more wet and windy weather is set to push its way in from the southwest later on. A lot of uncertainty as to exactly what time this is going to arrive, so it could arrive before many of us wake up on Christmas morning, in which case we won't really see the drier, frosty weather, or it could take a little bit longer and not arrive until Boxing Day. As a result, many of us could have quite a crisp, fine day on Christmas Day. So a lot to play for in the details. Whether or not it's going to be a white Christmas, well, I think it pretty much is quite likely that it will be. At least technically. From the Met Office's terms, we only need one flake of snow recorded officially somewhere in the UK, and I think that's very likely that we will see that either in the form of those wintry showers across northern parts, or perhaps a little bit of transient snow mixed in with that wetter weather that pushes its way in later on in the day. But it's not looking likely that it will be a picturesque wintry scene that many of us dream of in the build-up to Christmas. We will have more information on the Christmas Day forecast as we go through nearer the time, especially in our deep dive, which will be on our YouTube channel on Tuesday, and our 10-day trend on Wednesday. Otherwise, I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.